You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.
Alright, man, look. I finally had a chance to go see Nope.
Okay, what you think?
Let me see how I wanna address this. I guess I'm just gonna say Jordan Peele is 1 for 3 for me.
Oh, okay.
1 for 3. Okay. And the last two have been a no for me. A nope for me.
Oh, but it's
the end. Once I finally understood or realized what was happening in the movie, that's when the movie got good. But for the movie to be 2 hours and 15 minutes, the first hour and a half was like, what the hell is happening?
So it's like a psychological type of thriller type of thing?
Yeah.
Like it's not necessarily a horror film.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, and usually I like those types of movies, but I don't think it did a really good job of explaining what was really happening until like 45 minutes left in the movie. And then once it clicks, it's like, oh, now this is hard.
It's like one of them M. Night Shyamalan films.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
I still haven't seen it. I don't know what kind of derailed, why I haven't gone to see it, but I'll get to it.
Eventually,
yeah.
Like I'm sure it'll be on streaming before the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, would I check it out again? No. Would I encourage people to go pay to see it? No. But if you ain't got nothing to do, turn it on. Fuck it, why not? Again, it gets good at the end. It's just leading up to that point.
So it's really just the execution of the plot. Is that the problem? It's not the acting. It's not how it's shot. None of the other stuff. Right?
Yeah. So the movie itself looks great. I think Keke Palmer did great. Daniel Kaluuya. Did I pronounce his name right?
Yeah.
He did great.
As much as we done talked about him.
Trust
me, I know you.
I would still fumble it because that's me, right? That's me, right? Yeah. But no, he did great.
Okay.
But the plot and the way it was written and how things how things were put together, just it didn't click toward the end. And I don't know if that's an indictment on me in the way I think, but that shit wasn't well explained.
Well, it was just it's been mixed reviews from what I can tell. Maybe that's just what's kind of derailed me and what I want to go see it.
Got you. So, but I mean, whenever it hits stars or wherever it land, I would say just if you ain't got nothing to do on a Saturday afternoon, you and the wife turn it on.
Wherever it lands, I got you.
Yeah, low key, I almost walked out that bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, like that. I was like, nope, I'm gonna see it through. Paid the money. Let me just see it through because I ain't got nothing else to do this Friday evening.
Oh no, I ain't walking out. I'm bad a film got to be for me to walk out of, especially when I went to the movies to see it.
Yeah. Movie tickets ain't cheap, and we know that now. Movie tickets ain't cheap. This wasn't no matinee. This wasn't the $5 Tuesday. This was Friday evening.
Like you said, Friday evening.
This was Friday evening. So
you got to see that through, my boy.
Yeah. And then it wasn't a lot of people in there either. It might have been 6 total, including me.
Wow.
And
Wow. Okay.
So, but again, I think it's been out for a minute now. So
yeah,
I guess the people that really wanted to see it and saw it already.
It's been out for like at least a month.
Yeah, so
close to a month.
That makes sense. The people that wanted to see it saw it already. So yeah, that's all I got for that.
Oh.
Anyway, we get into it?
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Oversaturated, the podcast where we discuss music, movies, pop culture, and everything in between. I'm Johnnie.
And I'm Ralph.
Welcome to episode number 156.
156 on Stefan Segway this week.
Oh, I like it. New listeners, please follow us on all social media. Facebook, just search Oversaturated the podcast. Twitter is Oversat Podcast. Instagram is Oversat the Podcast. And our email is oversatpodcast@gmail.com. And please be sure to check out our website, oversatthepod.com. Anything you need to know about OS is there.
Yes, sir. And if you want to follow us individually, I'm the Mind of Ralph on Instagram and Twitter.
On Twitter, I'm JON2_B. On Instagram, I'm JBS_ESL_AAMU. Holla at us.
I would ask you how you doing since you just gave that that bad movie review. But I mean, I'm still gonna ask though. Are you good?
Yeah, man. I'm good. It's been an eventful weekend. I just want to encourage everybody. I think the demographic of our listeners are like early to mid 30s. We may have some 20-year-olds. Before you do any activity, stretch. You got to stretch because you just can't go out here cold doing activities because you're going to end up sore and hurting the next day, and that's where I'm at right now. That's my PSA for the day.
Okay.
That's my PSA because, man, I'm going through it. Bro.
Man, how did your tennis class or tennis workshop, I should say, how did that go?
No, so that went great, right?
Okay.
So the East St. Louis Community Tennis Association, we hosted a welcome back for our certified pro that has been in Orlando all summer, getting his he's getting additional coaching lessons from the National Tennis Center that's located in Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
So initially it was supposed to be a welcome back for him, but it turned to be a celebration for him because they actually offered him a position in Orlando.
Okay.
Which he decided to take, which I don't blame him at all. So shout out to Darian on his new endeavors going to Orlando. But the event itself was great. We had a lot of adults and a lot of youth come out to get lessons. We had somebody from Sterling Bank come out and give financial literacy to the kids and to the adults as well. We had snow cones and hot dogs and things like that. And we also had a East St. Louis tennis legend, Kevin Hood, come back and do coaching with the kids as well. Yeah. Coach the kids that have been coming out all summer as well. So it was nice to connect with him because I had never met him. I heard his name a few times, but I had never met him. So he's doing a lot of good things with tennis in Atlanta right now. So shout out to Kevin Hood, man. All around it was just a good event, man. It was a good day. We were out in Lincoln Park from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. and it was great. The weather held out. Like, it was divine, man. It was supposed to happen.
Divine.
Yeah, man. It was a good day.
Salute to you and the things that you have going, being a part of the organization. I know you're you're like the board of chairman or something like that.
I'm a member of the board of directors, right?
Gotcha.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But you just being a part of that leadership group, doing those good things, man. Salute.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. What's up with you?
I'm here.
Look, man, man's come in looking like a super. Y'all see the luxurious hair? He come in looking like a superstar.
I was gonna say this, y'all have been with me throughout this journey, man. The hair was like a little wild. You know, go back and look at the episode from last year, then come back and talk to me now. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta talk to me nice because you see where I'm at.
Oh,
with
big
it.
facts.
That's
big
all I'm
facts.
saying.
Consistency, baby.
Well, yeah. But no, man, it's just, it's been a week. You know, me and you discussed it. We don't have to kind of necessarily rehash, you know, what the week was, but long week, emotional week. But, I'm here ready to pod, bro.
Let's get to it then, baby.
Man. What we doing? Off the dome?
Off the dome.
You want to go first or you want me to go?
I'll take it first. All right, man. I saw this question on Twitter over the past week, and I thought it'd be interesting to bring to you. And I think it's kind of right up your alley too, with you being the movie buff connoisseur that you are.
Okay.
What movie would you like to see from another character's perspective? So think about whatever your favorite movie is, but think about another character you want to see from their perspective.
Okay.
Now, I could give you mine while you think.
Yeah,
okay.
Let's do that.
So mine, I'm going Agent Smith from The Matrix.
Okay.
I would love to see the movie from his point of view. So, of course, we see him in fight scenes with Neo and the dialogue that they have. But while Neo and Morpheus and everybody doing their thing, I want to see what Agent Smith is actually thinking and plotting behind the scenes and how he gets to, what he gets to when he faces Neo. I would love to see that.
I can think of so many ones, but I'm gonna follow your lead and necessarily go with the villain's point of view on something. I'm gonna go Joker in the Dark Knight, right?
Okay.
Like, to kind of get the grasp on what the Joker's mind is and how he wants to do things, even though he explained how his mind frame works in the film, but to see like how those things built up for him to even get to that point. Maybe another Joker. I'm thinking about another Joker origin film. Maybe, I don't know, but just know him in opposition to Batman, like where you look at Batman like, hey, leave my man's alone.
Right,
like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So to see that, I guess that ideation of the Joker go heads up as Batman is the protagonist of a film, I'm with that.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. I like that. So yeah, man, that's short and sweet, baby.
Hold on, man. Okay. This was spawned my question. DJ Khaled, Lil Baby, and Drake have a new song where it samples BG's "Staying Alive."
Yep.
Horrible track, but I'm not. That's not what I'm here for. The reason I said that is because BG's "Staying Alive" or BG's in general have just been a very, very sample group. Mm-hmm. And when you think of hip hop, you think of the great samples that come from like those yesteryear groups and things like that. But oftentimes they're oversampled. Like you get tired of hearing the same sample. Damn. So give me one of like an oversampled track that you heard. You be like, can we stop? Can we stop this, please?
That's funny. I kind of figured that's where you were going with the question. Mm-hmm. And even though I don't know if I could really pull a song right now, but I want to say the Osley Brothers. I feel like the Osley Brothers have been sampled a lot, like a whole lot. And I even remember them saying during their verses how they generate like $10 million a year just based off of licensing out samples, right? Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna go Osley Brothers.
Well, I mean, Between the Sheets. But what's the one Ice Cube used?
Today was a good day. Footsteps in the Dark. Yeah. So I'm definitely going Osley Brothers.
Okay, cool. Well, I mean, I don't know. Luther Vandross never too much. I don't know. I get tired of hearing it. Because the song is so classic. Not to say that we've seen classic songs be touched, and it's like, okay, it's cool, but hey, look, it's oftentimes a cheat code. Like that gives you a chance to listen to the song, but it's never going to be what the original was. So it's kind of like yeah. So I'm good on that. That's how I feel about, I guess, never too much samples. You know what I'm saying? I'm good.
And I feel you on that. And I wonder, so like those are sampled songs from us growing up, right? Mm-hmm. So now that songs that were created when we were younger are starting to get sampled now, I wonder what that would be for like the newer generation. I'm curious. I mean, we wouldn't know now, but just in the future.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Only time will tell. But no, that was Off the Dome, people. What's an oversampled song? Give us that.
Yep. And then what movie would you like to see from another character's perspective? Let us know.
Yeah, OS Gang, what's happening? Family, kinfolk. We got a few things here. A few news topics, a few original topics, but we're going to see how this plays out. But first, we got to get to this Verzuz topic. Swizz and Timbaland are suing Verzuz for a lot of money. Tens of millions of thousands. I didn't come out.
You didn't enunciate. You didn't enunciate. It's okay. That's okay. I got you, bro.
Tens of millions of dollars.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go.
But Johnny, what do you think about Swizz and Timbaland suing, not Verzuz, but the Verzuz brand suing Triller?
Yes.
For this amount of money?
First of all, it's wild, right? Mm-hmm. Like the fact that they even had to sue because they didn't receive payments that were, I guess, owed to them based on a contract or whatever.
Yeah. It's
wild. But I cannot say that I'm surprised. Mm-hmm. And the reason I say that is because Triller as a company, at least as a social media brand, a social media platform, I think they have tried to over-deliver but have underperformed. And not necessarily saying with just Verzuz, right? Mm-hmm. I think Verzuz has been the biggest thing to come out of Triller once they made the acquisition. Mm-hmm. But I feel like everything else on Triller has fallen short.
Like the boxing,
them trying to be a competitor with TikTok. Like I don't think any of that has really done well for them the way that they thought it would. Mm-hmm. And then them trying to move to a subscription-based platform because of said boxing and Verzuz.
Yeah.
I don't think that hit the way that they thought it would.
Yeah.
And I think maybe they thought acquiring Verzuz would allow them to get the subscriptions that they were looking for, but nah,
so
it didn't
now
happen.
they're trying to squander on the deal. Like that's what you think?
That's what it seems like.
Okay,
that's what it seems like.
Because the spokesperson for Triller actually came out and said that we paid them in a lot of cash, stocks, and options and things like that. So it's not necessarily a particular dollar amount, but I don't know. Well, the best of Verzuz was always before the acquisition.
Oh,
the best of verses, right? Even when Triller came on board, what started it? Like, I can't necessarily pinpoint the exact verses. But the best one they got is clearly the Lox versus Dipset. That's the one that they got.
And if I had to, I think it was around the SWV and Escape. I feel like it was around. It might not have been that particular one, but it was around that.
But all the memorable ones happened either strictly on the IG playing the songs back and forth, or when they kind of expanded it a little bit to like a IG live, but they had stages and like the Jeezy and Gucci. I was about to say Geechee.
Yeah.
I gotta combine the names, but yeah, like with that. So it. Okay, like
I don't know, man. It seems like from reading this article that we got from Billboard that Triller really does owe them this money, but Triller is saying that Verzuz didn't meet certain benchmarks. And it sounds like they moving the goalposts.
Yeah,
because it sounds like it doesn't matter what benchmarks were set or not, or if there were any benchmarks set at all. Y'all owed them this money, but now for whatever reason, and I just think because they not generating the money they thought they would, that they just don't want to pay it out or can't pay it out.
That's usually how they play those type of games. And then you got to think about the artists that were in on this deal as well. It's not just Swizz and Timbo. Like, remember, we talked about this when they announced the deal. Like, certain artists get certain percentage points and, kickbacks and all that great stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, anybody that participated in Verzuz with Triller is like a part owner or some shit like that.
Something like that. So, Swizz and Timbo ain't the only one necessarily taking the hit. But it is just that the brand was built up. And then we always talk about brands being built up, letting somebody else come in and, pay me for the hard work. Now the hard work is not being paid for, which is quite unfortunate. So it's kind of like you kind of beg the question: was it even worth it?
And and that's kind of where I was getting to next, right? First of all, was it worth it? Because we saw Verzuz literally go from just two people on IG going back and forth, just playing music off their aux cord, right? To what we know it as now as the performance-based platform where you get these artists performing on a stage in front of each other.
Yeah.
And that all happened within 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Yeah.
Which is nuts, right?
Yeah.
So I guess right now, where does this leave Verzuz? Do you think this is it for Verzuz? You think it's...
Oh, it's done. It's done because now Diddy and JD are talking about doing the hit for hit battle, where it's not even going to be...
It's not going to be it's not a Verzuz.
It's not under the Verzuz moniker. So that's already when you can land the two big fish, when we've been hyping this battle up for months. We didn't talked about it here. Now they're talking about actually getting it done. Diddy actually said, "Hey, we're doing it now.
We're doing
but it's not
hit
a Verzuz.
For hit. It's not a Verzuz. We're just going hit for hit, and it's going to be in Atlanta,
which is a Verzuz.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right.
but it's not going to be under this moniker. So that's crazy. And I think Diddy mentioned the bad business. That's funny.
The pot calling the kettle.
Man, exactly. So that's. I think it's done. Like, it's over with. And me and you have plotted on the Verzuz downfall in a way. Like, not saying that we wanted the brand to fail, but it's just like, where do we go from here? And we've introduced, and I know you've introduced other ways to keep the Verzuz brand going. Like this, we go do this, we go do this. Well, if Triller ain't paying, what good is it? But it was something that the culture built up and hyped up.
Right. I would like to say that this is not it for Verzuz because let's just say they Tim and Swizz, they settle with Triller outside of court, right? They settle for whatever, they get paid. Swizz and Timbaland, they retain the ownership of Verzuz and everything that's happened, right?
Yeah.
Even if they were to move forward, they still have to get big name acts.
Yeah.
How do you pay them? You don't have a Triller behind you to pay them unless they come out of pocket or unless they get a bunch of major sponsors. But even with that, that's going to dilute the product because we're going to see all placement ads throughout the Verzuz.
Well, hey, we was looking at like the Rick Ross one. It went in like Doritos or something. It was like Brandy and Monica.
It
was like sponsored by Doritos.
Like, it was all Doritos bags everywhere. That's
and then Ciroc got it. And it's like
it's true.
But the best of Verzuz, it's like there's literally there's no more Verzuz pretty much left unless you start reaching for those top people, or you start reaching across the aisle and doing pop stars.
Yeah, we talked about that too. Once you start digging into the pop star pool, you can't go back to what you really did before because you're not going to have the same success with the pop stars that you would with non pop stars.
The Negroes.
Not I was trying to avoid it. I was trying to avoid it. The element, as Ralph will put it. But I hate this had to happen to Verzuz because that was something that was born of us for us, and I feel like this is going to the Verzuz company or Verzuz brand. I feel like it's going to be studied in the future because it had such a meteoric rise, right? Again, in 2 years, we saw it go from fuzzy IG videos to the big brand that it is now, where you have these artists on stage with DJs and you have a whole performance aspect. It just happens so fast, and I guess that's what happens when you grow so fast and can't really sustain what's going on. It's like phases out, fizzles out, and it's unfortunate because again, this was a great thing. I saw this going on tour, but I don't know if that can happen now.
Yeah, but kind of just saying what we're saying. We would love to see the Verzuz brand continue to carry on. We may agree to disagree. I know Johnnie wants to see it going. Actually, I'm okay if it stops. I'm fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. It's not shutting down my Wednesday or Thursday nights anymore.
Oh, definitely not.
So
definitely not.
It's got to be Diddy versus JD. And
it got to be
one of them. But let's talk about something else in the music business. We have a artificial intelligence rapper being signed to a major label. We got virtual rapper Meka signed to a major label. Johnnie, what do you think about this?
I couldn't believe this when I saw this.
Yeah.
I literally still can't believe it, but I guess I'm not really surprised. The way the landscape of virtual reality, social media, and everything is going, it's I guess it was only a matter of time before something like this were to happen. But I guess with me finding out about it today, right? I guess I'm trying to figure out how it works. So it's a artificial intelligence program or something that's a rapper, but it's voiced by a human that has 10 million followers on TikTok and has a song out right now called Florida something, I think, that features Gunna and somebody else. What is happening? What's happening?
I'm not going.
I'm at a loss for words,
This
bro.
is nasty work. This is okay. Pretty much, we got Jarvis, doing rapping right now, right? We got Ultron rapping over beats and shit. That's what we doing. No, we not.
That's hilarious.
I'm not doing this. I'm not going. We've sat here and tried to fight for the culture, right? We sit here and talk about lyricism, and then I know me and Johnnie have opposing views, but we always kind of meet in the middle on certain topics when it comes to the rap game and the youngins and things like that.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm always kind of like the pro youngin. I kind of see what you're trying to do, and then sometimes I can't get with it. Johnnie,
I always can't get with it.
I can't never get with it.
I'm not gonna get with
but
it.
This is trash. This is nasty. And then if you see a picture of Meka, you like, what the fuck is this? It's like a caricature.
No, for real.
It's but
nah,
I mean,
that I feel
and then
you.
it's signed to a major label. So that's what major labels think. That's what you think of the culture.
Oh, of course they do.
I mean, well, of course, because you find. This is the definition of industry plan, right?
Fact. Word.
You keep how many times we looked up as a Lil Pump or Lil this or Lil that or some white kid that looks like he golf or he might be this and then he's tattooed, he has dread, he has locks. I'm like, hey, yo, where did y'all find him from?
And all of the rappers that are in the same realm of the ones you just mentioned look like a mashup of
something
of this.
Yes,
of this
exactly.
Which is nasty.
It's real nasty.
And that I really want to know who is voicing this thing because if it's a white person, because I heard a clip of a song and I did hear the N-word.
Listen,
I heard it.
I'm not listening. I'm not even giving it. The only reason we even talking about this is because it's a topic.
It's so outlandish.
But I'm never listening to this ever. I don't care if Gunna's on the song or not, and that speaks to Gunna. I'm sorry. Everything it like sometimes your integrity gotta speak more than that dollar that they about to give you, man. And I would never like Gunna is a I guess he is a rapper, classified as a rapper. I don't really rock with all of Gunna's music, but I've heard a few tracks. I like them, here and there. But it's not enough money that you can pay me to get on a song with a fake rap like that.
Literally
a fake rapper. Like
fake rapper.
No, I'm good.
But
then again, rap has ascended to these levels where they are making rappers in a lab. That's not even a punchline. That's not even a metaphor.
Right. That's
really
what's happening.
Okay.
These is what it seems like, because if this is successful like the label wants it to be, they have found a way to generate money off of hip hop again without actually having to go and find the actual hip hop artists. And that in itself is nasty. The whole creating this artificial intelligence to be a rapper is nasty in itself. But
okay, think about it like this. Maybe I'm gonna play devil's advocate for 2 seconds, right? Remember we talked about like the life insurance stuff on
Yep.
I don't have to invest into a literal human anymore. Like, if all we care about is numbers being generated, this is what they like, this is it, I can make it in a lab, which is nasty. Is nasty.
Super nasty.
But wow, I can't believe I'm making a case for this. But like it's
no, you pod. You pod.
God, it's just that I hate it so much.
And what you were saying makes sense
because we talk about
the company's perspective.
Because, like you said, millions of views on TikTok, right? They care about numbers. Numbers produce dollars. That's what they care about. They don't care about nothing else. How do we get to the money?
That's crazy. And like it, as nasty as it is, low key, I'm kind of intrigued. Now, again, I understand it's wild because, and I just figured this out as we talking, like they really have found a way to circumvent them having to find actual people to, push out and create music, right? So now I'm thinking, how does FN Meka, whatever his name is, whatever its name is, how does this person tour? How does this person create a show and have people come in and actually view? Because that's going to happen.
Listen, we just talked about Verzuz, having a virtual platform that's a virtual concert. We've had Travis Scott do stuff on what's the name?
Fortnite.
Yes, exactly.
Fortnite.
So
yes, that's how you do
that's
it.
Like
Cause my brain is still focused on like the physical show. So I'm thinking, is this gonna be Tupac hologram again? Like how? But no, like that whole thing. I also saw that Kid Cudi, it did like a festival or something in the McDonald's app. That's a whole nother story for another day. But wow, no, like you saying, like virtual reality, the Oculus, all this stuff is a thing, right? So that's how you get shows done. Real people creating avatars to go watch a fake rapper in virtual reality. Damn, that's life now. Damn, that's life now. I'm actually gonna I followed this thing on TikTok, so because I want to see where this goes, because this is interesting. As wild as it is, like I feel like I have to keep my ear to it, because I feel like this has a lot of repercussions down the line that a lot of people, none of us really know yet. None of us know, and I have to see this. I have to see it. It's crazy. As crazy as it is, man, I gotta stick to it just to see what's happening.
I got you. Just the state of the rap game, man. But speaking of the game, rapper Jason Taylor dropped his 11th studio album, Drillmatic, The Heart versus the Mind. We're gonna get into it. It actually came out 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago, yo.
2 weeks ago. It just didn't fit into our docket time last week, but we definitely got to get into it. Johnnie, what do you think about this album?
Well,
just your overall viewpoint. We can get into it.
Yeah, with Game coming off of his retirement, right?
Oh damn, yeah. Yeah.
For this to be as long as it was, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. We all know Game can rap, and Game rapped on this album. Not a lot of skips to me. Definitely something with a few songs I could just go back and listen to, just to cherry pick the ones I want to get to. But it's definitely something, if I'm on a road trip, I could throw on and listen to. If I'm in the house cleaning up, I could throw on, or if I'm riding to work, I can just throw on. Like this is an album that you could throw on pretty much in any type of to me in any type of setting.
Yeah. 30 tracks, 2 hours. My viewpoint of the album is a very strong album, really good album. Kind of the rap that we're used to. When I say 30 tracks, I mean 30 what 29 full songs. It might be one skit on here that's listed as a track.
Yeah,
but everything else is a song, and I'm not talking about them 2-minute 30-second.
No, these are full joints.
These are full 30, 3-minute 30 to 4-5-minute tracks.
Even 1 10-minute track.
Yeah, even one 10-minute track, which we will get to. Yeah. But I really enjoyed this album. Johnny, what do you enjoy? Like, what would you say is the high of the album? Like the highs of the album, or the songs that you really enjoy?
Well,
we'll get to what you don't like.
No, I'm saying it's fun. It's funny because I've only gotten through the whole album once.
Okay.
And I've been listening to like just Lucy's here and there. Yeah. So it's kind of hard for me to say like which ones I like the most. Now there aren't many downsides. So I actually really like the Black Slim Shady joint. I can't even front.
Okay.
A lot of people don't. I kind of liked it.
Okay. Well, okay. Let me ask you this. Well, since you went there, it's not something that I'm necessarily running to play, but I heard it. I was like, oh, he's rapping, and I think he's paying more of a homage. I didn't think it was like a diss.
Right. And I
know
agree.
people have painted it as a diss, and I think sometimes in certain YouTube videos it's been painted as a diss. But when I listen to it, it sounds like I'm emulating. I'm showing reverence, or in a way like I'm.
Yes, and after listening to it for the second time, I agree with that. Okay. So I think a lot as a culture. Whenever we hear a person, whenever we hear a rapper talk about another rapper, we automatically go to, oh damn, he dissed him. Like that's no. What Game did on this track is literally emulate Eminem's style, and not just one style. We talking Eminem from the 90s, the 2000s up until now, right? And he did, and I guess that's why the song took 10 minutes. But he's emulating Eminem's entire career, which I thought was dope because I am an Eminem fan. I like Eminem style. I like all of Eminem styles. And to hear Game do it, not saying it was flawless, but to do it at such a high level that he did, I thought was great.
Yeah,
I thought it was great. So that's the reason I like the song, because I do like Eminem. I do like Eminem styles, and for Game to pay homage to Eminem with his own style. Using the type of lyrics that Eminem uses or has used back in the day is like, damn, this is dope. And he just used that time to talk about Eminem. Like Eminem talked about NSYNC. Like Eminem talked about his ex-wife Kim. Like Eminem talked about Christina Aguilera. Any pop star from the 99, 2000s. He did the same thing. Game did the same thing, but just used Eminem as that muse for this record, basically. Yeah. And that's what I enjoyed about it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Go ahead.
So I think the one joint, and you actually said this to me before I listened to the album Ruby's Rose. Yeah. So yeah, that's definitely one of mine. And then the joint with Pusha T, No Man Falls. That's my shit too, man.
Okay. Man, it's a lot that I really like about the album. So it's like when we'll get to the lows, which we will. It's like I enjoy so much about the album. I like La La Land. Like a lot of the tracks that I love because of the features on there. I don't think Game is a rapping ass dude, and he really doesn't get out rapped on too many songs. Like honestly,
say it.
Not too many people out rapped him on his album. Like, for real. And he went and seen everybody. Right? It's not like a Russ Chomp in a way. Like Russ went and get all the lyricists. No, I get the lils, the lyricists, the swag. I get all of them over here, baby. And they really don't see me in that way. But I mean, the songs I really love, like I love the songs where Game is on there by himself. Like those songs are really, really good songs to me. So like La La Land, where he's explaining all the gang stuff, like I love that. Like, as somebody that
that's just funny, dude.
Like he explains all the gang stuff. I'm like, gang shit. I like that, baby. I mean, the Pusha T and 2 Chainz track, No Man Falls, definitely Start From Scratch, Part 2. Wow. Talk to Me Nice. Blxst is a hook god.
Yeah, like, Blxst is your guy. I know.
Man, look. The joint with Rick Ross, Father's Prayer. The joint with Chris Brown at the end. I like all. Like, it's a lot of songs on here I really really like.
The one I like the most, and I can't believe I skipped it. 38 Special. Let me tell you. First of all,
you like a Blueface track.
Let me finish.
Okay,
let me finish.
let you cook.
First of all, Blueface did not need to be on there.
Okay.
Like the 15 seconds at the beginning, could cut that shit out.
Okay.
Game went absolutely. Hold on. This is track number 25 on this album. For Game to rap as well as he did the first 24 tracks, and then 25 he go in like that.
Yeah.
Nah. Come on. That's fucking amazing.
Okay. Well, let's get to your lows because I think you're there.
Well, definitely Blueface. No,
Okay.
but for this to have so many tracks, there are a lot of features. Not saying the features were bad, but there's so many features. So many features.
But let me say this: for a 30-track album, would you prefer all these features though?
You know
Because you can think of Eminem. If he gave you 30 tracks, you want to hear 27 Eminem tracks by himself, or you want to see him dance with other rappers?
I don't really like when you refute my points, but it makes sense. That makes perfect. It makes perfect sense.
Now if this was like a standard 15, like
if this would have been 3 albums, which it should have been, then I got you.
Okay.
But no. You make a valid point. My friend.
I mean,
you make a valid point.
But still, I know that's your knock against
that's usually my thing. But to circumvent that, the features weren't bad. Like the Blueface shit, we could have did without. But the rest of this, no. I think we good.
Honestly, if we go pick, let's just say, my lows of the album, right? The French Montana track, I didn't care for.
Okay.
I understand where that can be played though, but it didn't fit to me. So I was just like, we can keep that.
Shit, not fitting on a 30-song album,
right? And that sounds nasty, right?
Funny.
The second Kanye verse, Unfortunate, I was like, what we doing here? Like that's like a waste of time and money and energy with that. A lot of the samples were cool. I can vibe with them because I know what the original song was.
Yep.
But just
you think
you
think it's too many
like
samples?
Thug is Rugged's Bone Flip. Was that okay?
I thought it was.
It was cool, but it's just like.
Could have deal with. You could have deal without the flip, or could have deal without the song. Period.
No, the flip.
Okay.
If you're talking about rapping and Lil Wayne,
yeah, we cool.
We cool.
But the
it's
beat,
cool. It's just like
did we really need that? I didn't mind it.
Like I like Money Cash Clothes, like with ASAP Rocky, but it's still.
But see,
it's more so because I love the original track. But the song is still good.
I'm about to say so the song is good, right? But the song makes sense with ASAP Rocky because ASAP Rocky is that guy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So and it's funny. It's funny hearing Game rap about that kind of shit too.
Listen, but the Game is a chameleon, kind of like this artificial intelligence nigga. but he fits into pockets with all these rappers. That's what makes the album so good. He meets rappers where they are, and he still out raps them.
Right.
That's the beautiful thing about this album and Game as a overall package. As a rapper.
Now, did you?
But that's I guess it was my lows. Like the tracks I didn't care for, just like maybe certain song flips. I think it was kind of certain cheat codes, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy them.
Right.
The only track that was kind of like when I heard it, I was like, I immediately wanted to skip was the French Montana joint.
Got you.
But I understand. Like if I'm on the beach, it goes. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it goes because it's Nicki's Beach. Like it's the name of the song. But just in that, I guess in that placement, it was just like
And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So. Did you get a chance to listen to World Tours featuring Nipsey Hussle? So on streaming is blacked out.
No, I didn't get a chance.
I didn't either. And then OPP featuring NBA Youngboy.
Yeah, I did hear that. That track was okay.
Okay, I thought I heard it too, but now that's also grayed out on Apple Music.
It's a lot of business, a lot of drama going on with that, and that's one thing about the streaming aspect of it. If you were to buy this album, you would have had the NBA Youngboy joint. But since it's on streaming and business wasn't ironed out correctly or something like that, they just take it out.
And it's also crazy that the album itself is listed as 31 songs, but it's only 29 tracks that's listed.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy too. Oh wait, number 6 OPP with NBA YoungBoy is grayed out, but then it also has number 6 outside with YG. Like this is just I don't know. It's all weird.
Yeah, but the features are well placed. Like Game is okay. Before I start getting into everything else about Game, out of 5 stars, how you rate this?
For it to be as many tracks as it is, and for it to be as consistently good as it is, I think I'm going to go 3.5.
Okay.
I think I'm going 3.5.
I'm actually going 4.
Okay.
What I really enjoyed Game is rapping his ass off. A lot of these songs I can revisit. It's not just one per se. I enjoy a lot on here. Like I forgot to even mention Ice-T being here. Wasn't but a flip of colors, but still, it was just
on the first track.
So the album, the high of the albums. I mean, the high of the album just really I fuck with.
Yeah.
Like, and then I'm the Game fan on the show, so. I don't really hide my biases, so
right.
But I mean, if it was trash, it was trash.
Oh, of course,
but
of course.
This is actually good, so I can stand a little bit. So,
right. That's funny. But I mean, hey, the fact that he was able to put out such a long album and for it to be as consistently good as it is just shows the testament of Game as a rapper and how great of a career that he's had. Because he doesn't really have a bad album.
And the low. A lot of your favorites would take a bad Game album, like you know what I'm saying, like the Red album, maybe like that's up for debate. Like you all can have that, but like if we want to start having an honest conversation about Game, he's a legend. But the thing is, like kind of we talked about like in pre-pod, we was having a conversation about all legends aren't created equal.
Yeah,
like he got a lot of great good to great albums in the tuck, but the Game has a lot that people don't like about him, personality, the name dropping when he raps, like those types of things takes away from what people view of him as an overall great artist.
Right.
Which is quite unfortunate.
I agree. And
then none of his albums, like it's kind of like certain albums move and shake the culture, right? Even though Documentary sold 5 million, would you say that's like it's a structure in hip hop, like it's a focal point in hip hop?
Not necessarily.
It sold 5 million, but it's like what?
Wait, remind me, what year was that?
05.
And I'm trying to think.
04, 05, somewhere in there.
What other albums came out around that same time? Because I'm thinking maybe that's the reason why it's not like, it doesn't stick like that.
No, I don't think I wouldn't say it's the albums around the time, because the album, whenever it drops, right? It's gonna stand the test of time, which I still think that album does. I just think that certain rappers is tiers, right? Game is not a A-tier rapper in the sense of everything that encompasses a great MC. You wouldn't put him on the plane with Nas, Jay-Z, Eminem. And but he's like the tier under them. But he raps just as good or if not better.
And that's what I'm saying. He, like you said, he raps just as good or better, right? And has done it consistently, just like those people that you named. So I guess what is it that's holding him back from being up there with those tiers? And
it's kind of like he's in the plane with T.I., right? He's too accessible, personality politics. You don't move in the way that those other MCs move, which are still like they're still a mystery to us.
Oh yeah,
like that's all. That's how you move in the music industry. You should never. It's Game to be as talented as he is. He shouldn't do any of the shenanigans that he does.
I agree.
Like
100%.
he shouldn't have to sell an album. Like he shouldn't have to come out and say, he was saying wild stuff just to drum up, attention for his album.
And he shouldn't have to do
album
that,
sales
especially
are down.
today.
Album sales are down. It doesn't matter. You can say the most wildest shit. You're not going to sell that many more albums just because you said this.
And especially if you say wild shit today, that might decrease your album sales. People might boycott your ass or try to cancel you. So you might not get as much. For real. So I don't know. It's almost, I feel like it might almost be the Wale effect. Like being too accessible, maybe crying or whining about different shit. And also just being outlandish. I feel like he lies a lot in his interviews. He had like a wild Michael Jackson story or some shit. Like probably never made no damn Michael Jackson. Like
Which is very true.
So I feel like all of that plays a role. But even on top of all that shit, right? He's still delivering quality music, and that's something you can't put past him.
No, you can't.
Yeah. So shout out to Game, man. Shout out to Drillmatic.
Yeah, Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind. We might be talking about this album at the end of the year. You'll never know. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Big facts. Big facts.
Let's get into this OG topic right here, man. Johnnie posed the question, and I think it was very good that we bring it to the platform.
Yeah, man.
You want to get into it?
Sure. Just having a conversation with some friends, just about movies and sci-fi and fantasy, just period, right? And I just got to thinking, like, has us getting older, and by us I mean people that are in Ralph and I's age range, so we're 34 and 35, so people early 30s to 40s or whatever, right? Like, has us getting older and being grounded in reality, has that stopped us from enjoying like the science fiction and the fantasy in movies? So we, like, today, right, we love TV shows and movies that are realistic, like The Insecures, right? Because we can connect to these types of shows, and that makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we're seen, and it just, it's overall good for us to see these types of stories, right? Yeah. Which is great. It's beautiful, but I'm wondering if that has stopped us from enjoying the exaggeration or the extraness that comes in the science fiction types of movies. Like, I remember when the first Avengers came out, right? We fucking aliens coming from nowhere, the Chitauri coming in, the Hulk jumping in to save Iron Man as he falls from the sky because he unconscious. Like, I remember seeing that shit in theaters 3 times, and every time I was like, wow, this shit is amazing, right? Yeah. Why don't we feel the same way? Because the same type of over-the-topness is still happening in Marvel. And I feel like we've shitted on the whole phase 4 shit. So, and I'm thinking, and I got to thinking, like, damn, maybe us having the Insecures, having the Powers, having these types of shows, maybe that skewed the way we view these big-budget movies. And I just wanted to bring that to the platform to have a conversation. Like, what do you think?
I wouldn't say the shows that dwell in realism affect like the sci-fi, the superhero genre in that way. I think that once we prove that our superheroes and sci-fi characters and all them people can have like true, genuine layers, that's where this came from. Like, I don't think the shows did it. Okay. Like, because think about it like this. Superhero films were kind of like, oh, that's a superhero film. Like, actors won't even touch it because it's kind of like, oh, it doesn't really help me get other films and other roles. And I'm going to use the criminally bad Batman films, right? The Joel Schumacher films, right? Yeah. Like, those are kind of like, people enjoy, like, I'll go back and watch them, but they don't hold a canon to what came after them, right? Or the ones that even came before.
No, this is okay. I'm rolling.
So it's kind of like when you show Bruce Wayne could be like, I have issues. I need therapy, but I'm, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it's still gonna beat your ass.
Right, exactly. Like, so when that became a thing, it's like, oh, not to say Dark Knight was the one that turned the corner, but when you start doing, like, when your heroes start having like real layers to them, and you can start adapting those graphic novel pieces into movies, like, I think that's where it went. It showed that can be profitable. We went with that.
So, with you saying that, right? Do you think those types of, I guess, character developments in those types of movies today aren't as prominent or aren't as written as well? No. Or what do you think?
No. I think they are. Like, that's why we love them so much, right? That's why, at least the Academy and things like that are starting to pay attention more to superhero films, and you're starting to see a lot of those genuine actors kind of get into those roles and be okay with being a superhero or a villain or whatever, right? Regardless of what they did before. They, I'll come over and be, whatever you need me to be. Like, you know what I'm saying? They'll do that.
Right. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe a lot of our inner childs are just not grasping.
Well, like you said, we've gotten older, right? And then you got to think about the people that grew up and made these comics. Like, they want to make these things profitable too. So, like, if you grew up with something, you want to kind of see it mature. It's kind of like Rugrats all grown up, right? You want to see.
That's a good analogy.
Like, you want to see like Batman. You want to see Batman have real man problems, even though he's a billionaire. Like, you still want to see him have Like the emotions of love, the emotions of grief. Like you want to see him have that on screen.
Because he's still human.
Human.
We've grown to a point where, yeah, clearly we still love these types of movies, right?
Yeah.
But as older individuals, as more mature individuals, we need those layers to these characters. Yeah, we know Iron Man can build this suit, can blast some shit from 100 miles away. We know he can do that. But what about Tony Stark as the person?
No point exactly.
And thinking about that, I probably need to go back and watch Iron Man 3 because they explored a lot of that shit in Iron Man 3. I remember when that shit came out, I thought it was trash, and I haven't watched it. It
was really the villain. I think the villain.
The villain was horrible.
The villain ruined it for everybody.
Was horrible.
But I think that's where it is. Like if you're talking about character development of said, hero on screen, I think they do a very good job with it. They get all these actors to do all this. They don't get, we had a debate about no names and, A-list or whoever you need to fill these roles, but at the end of the day, they're still pretty good actors. Mm-hmm. So they bring that character to life on the film. Right. On the screen, and that's what we gravitate towards. So it's not just, they're this, this great hero. Mm-hmm. Like it's the way that you emote, the way that you bring it to life. So.
Right. So off of superhero movies, right? What about Jurassic World is another franchise they came up in mind, right? Jesus. I know. So it's like does the same type of thing apply to a Jurassic World or maybe even Fast and Furious? Like does the same thing apply? Because even though these are
sci-fi films, like you talking about the overtopness. Well, sometimes it's good to have mind-numbing action and adventure. So I get what you mean, but in those films, it feels like the abstract concept of the movie is the star. So the dinosaurs are technically the star of the film. The racing or the cars or the action is the star of a Fast and Furious film.
Gotcha.
Like I don't think. I mean, yeah, Vin Diesel and those other people matter in those Fast and Furious films to an extent, but we go to see the outlandish shit. You know what I'm saying?
Especially for Fast and Furious.
Exactly.
Like, I want to see you strap a jet to a car.
Exactly. Like we go for the outlandish dinosaurs. Like we don't know how a dinosaur react, but we like what they what they do on the film. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the outrageousness of it all.
That's true.
So it's like, but when you're thinking about a property like maybe let's just use like a Star Wars or a Star Trek or something, right? Those are stories based in sci-fi, but you need those characters to kind of play it out.
Yep. So
you have to have something with that. That's how I look at it.
No, that makes sense. I think this is a good conversation, and I guess like actually talking it out with you was making me feel better because like damn, like am I just becoming such a get off my lawn type of person? It's like God damn, like I just can't enjoy this shit because even with Endgame, right? Mm-hmm. The final battle scene was the best part to me, but everything leading up into that was like, fam, this shit kind of boring.
But it was the character.
But it's character development. So maybe if I go back and watch some of these movies with a different mindset, maybe they'll turn out better. Maybe they'll turn. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah, man. I wonder if this same conversation will apply to She-Hulk. But we'll get into that when we talk about that. Talk about that on YouTube. But yeah, man. Anything else?
Nah, man, we reached the end of our docket here, man. We appreciate you guys. Johnny, what you got for them?
Man, if you are on YouTube, first of all, we appreciate you for rocking with us this long. Mm-hmm. Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, hit the comment section. Let us know what you thought about any of the topics and chime in on the conversations.
Yes, sir.
We'll catch y'all next week.
Yep. Peace.
Now, if you are on audio.
You are now listening to Oversaturated, the podcast, hosted by Johnnie and Ralph. Now let's get it.